Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Guys, just to give you an update. Still not feeling great at all. Um, just in my room and yeah, just like, you know what? It's coming in waves. Like, you know what? I feel like I'm a little okay and then it'll just come back and hit me again. You know, I'll get a temperature and I'll end up getting a headache and it just comes back in waves, man. It comes back in waves. This is for real. COVID is for real, man. It basically, I feel okay for like 1 hour and then it'll just come back and I feel like I'm getting a headache or a temperature again. It's just, I've never had a flu like this in my life. It just keeps coming back in waves. You know, it comes and it goes, it comes and it goes, and there's no sign of it at the minute getting better. You know, I've never experienced flu like this in my life. Yeah, hopefully in the next couple of days it gets better. I've got to isolate till October 3rd, so the whole of this week. Yeah, just got a mad headache, but yeah, thought I'd give you guys a little update. It's definitely, you know, tough. I can imagine what people that got it early on went through, because this is tough, man. This is definitely tough, and you know, yeah, I've still got a mad headache. You can probably tell from, like, you know, just how pale I am, and you know, it's been difficult, man. It's been difficult last couple of days. Never had a flu like this in my life. You know, hopefully it gets better. But yeah, guys, I want to talk a bit about Anthony Joshua. You know, he's got a lot of criticism. I feel for Anthony Joshua. I feel for him. People seem to think that I was a hater saying all the things that I was saying, but I really feel for Anthony Joshua. I feel for him. I feel for him because I said something in a video that, you know, Anthony Joshua's fighting everybody. He's fighting everybody, all the best guys. But I said if he loses to Oleksandr Usyk, people are going to say, well, Anthony Joshua, he fought all old men. You know, he hasn't really fought anybody. He hasn't fought the other top guys in Fury and Wilder. Now he's been beat by a top guy in Usyk, who they think is a top heavyweight. And I said if he ends up losing to Oleksandr Usyk, it won't be a good look for him. Because although he's got a great resume and a better resume than Fury and Wilder, he hasn't fought the other top guys. So if he was to lose to Usyk, because I said to you that I think they're the four best heavyweights. I believe Usyk, Wilder, Joshua, and Fury. And now Joshua's lost to one of them. And he hasn't fought Fury and Wilder. So I said he'll become very underrated if he was to lose to Oleksandr Usyk. And people are going to start giving him stick, even though he's got a way better resume than any of the other heavyweights. Because this is what happens when you fight stiff competition back to back. You look more vulnerable. And AJ's already got a lot of vulnerabilities anyway. And I'm not surprised. I was picking Usyk prior to win the fight. But it's going to be difficult now for AJ to come back. Let's be honest, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to come back from that mentally. You know, I think this is going to be much harder than the Andy Ruiz fight, because Usyk is somebody that's very disciplined. He's not going to get off track. He's going to come and be even better the next fight. You know, he'll be confident in stopping AJ in the next fight. I don't feel Anthony Joshua, people saying he's been exposed, I don't think so. He just got beat by a genius, really. I think Oleksandr Usyk is a genius. I think Usyk is just on another level. And Usyk could be anyone. He's that good. He's just so gifted. So I don't think there's no shame in losing to him, because I think he's that good. I think he's that good. And I saw an IFL TV interview by someone called Peter McDonough. Peter McDonough says that AJ hasn't really got a lot of experience. And he made a good point, and one point that he said AJ doesn't even know how to hold. He doesn't even know how to grab hold of somebody. And he's right. AJ doesn't even know how to grab hold. When he tries to grab hold, it looks so awkward. He doesn't know how to do it. Like he's not been taught it. And Johnny Nelson said the same thing. It's like he hasn't learned the tricks of the trade. Something that Oleksandr Usyk, you know, in his amateur, he's had 350 amateur fights. He's learned all of that. He's got all the tricks of the trade. Anthony Joshua, people said, oh, well, he's got to use his size and physicality and body and his natural size that he's got over Usyk. But AJ never fights like that. What fight have you seen him become a pressure fighter? Be dirty, be rough. Like, when have you seen, like, you know, I've never seen AJ fight like that. AJ doesn't fight like that. He doesn't fight like that. If you look at Marcus Maidana, right? Marcus Maidana, when he fought Mayweather and Khan, his style was perfect because they like to box. They like to keep it at distance. Maidana didn't give him any space, and Maidana closed the distance and was, you know, making it a rough and horrible, you know, horrible fight for them, because he knew that's Maidana's style anyway. But that's the way you're going to be successful. Maidana wasn't going to be successful by looking to box at range, was he? Against those two. But the thing is with Joshua is a guy that likes to box behind his jab. You know, he doesn't walk you down. He doesn't use his physical size. You know, this is why I think this is going to be very hard, because you're going to have to teach somebody a completely different fighting style in order to beat Usyk in 6 months, which is not possible. It's not possible for Anthony Joshua to be able to become a pressure fighter, because that's what he needs to beat Usyk, and even then he may get knocked out, because we all know that Joshua hasn't got a granite chin, or he's got great stamina, because in order for you to be successful with being a pressure fighter, you need great stamina, because your output needs to be crazy, right? And you need a good chin, something guys like Marcus Maidana had, Sean Porter. They had a good chin and they had good stamina where they could go 12 rounds with easy. Joshua doesn't have great stamina and he doesn't have the greatest chin. So how's he going to just walk Usyk down? See, those type of guys, they take 2 or 3 to let off 2 or 3 of their own. Anthony Joshua hasn't got a granite chin where he can afford to take 2 or 3, because he may end up getting clipped with a shot that might end up hurting him. So I don't feel Anthony Joshua can win that fight unless he lands one bomb on Usyk that wobbles him. Otherwise, I can't see him winning that fight. Usyk is just far too skilled. And I don't think he can be taught being a pressure fighter in 6 months in order for him to defeat Usyk. I just don't see it. And that's just my opinion. I do think Oleksandr Usyk would stop Joshua in the rematch. But I do worry for Joshua as well from a mental standpoint going into that next fight. We already know that, you know, he wasn't the most confident prior to the Oleksandr Usyk fight. What's he going to be like now? I don't know. Is he going to be even more scarred? Is he going to be affected even more mentally? God knows. God knows, man. But it's going to be tough. Either way, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. Because one thing's for sure, Oleksandr Usyk is a special fighter. And Oleksandr Usyk said that he's going to be even better for the rematch. And I believe him. Because Oleksandr Usyk has got so many layers to him. He's so gifted. And he did it so easy. Like, he even said that that was my biggest win, but it wasn't my hardest fight. And it wasn't. Chisora was harder than that. You know, Bradis was harder than that. Even maybe Hunter was harder than that. That wasn't a hard fight for Usyk. And here's another thing I'll say about Anthony Joshua. I don't know whether Anthony Joshua would beat Joe Joyce. I think someone like Joe Joyce could beat him as well. You know, with that pressure, with that constant walking him down. And we know Joe Joyce has got a granite chin, and that aura of Anthony Joshua's punching power is gone now. That aura is not there anymore. So I don't know whether even Anthony Joshua will beat someone like Joe Joyce. And there's so many guys, right, there's there in the heavyweight division that, in my opinion, that will be looking to fight, wanting to fight Joshua now. You know, someone like Joe Joyce, that, like, stylistically, you know, before the Usyk fight, I thought that would be a hard fight for Joshua. Now, looking at the style that Joe Joyce has got. And Joe Joyce don't look great. He's very slow. But the thing is with Joe Joyce, he's there all the time and he's constantly at you. He's constantly breaking you down. You know, he may wear Joshua down. And one thing we know that with Joe Joyce, he's got a great engine, great stamina, great chin. And that's something that I don't believe Joshua would be able to knock Joe Joyce out. And I don't think Joe Joyce has really got punching power where he'll be hurting. But I think he could wear him down, where we could see Joshua like he was in that last round where he was completely fatigued. I could see him in that situation because Joe Joyce would use his size against Joshua. And Joe Joyce is as big, if not bigger, than Joshua. So he would use his size. And he's bigger than, I think he's bigger than Joshua. Like, size-wise, he may even be bigger. Not like not like muscular-wise, but body-wise, he may even be bigger. Maybe heavier. So he could wear Joshua down. You know, and I don't think Joshua's that comfortable boxing and moving like he did against Ruiz. It doesn't come naturally to him. So I think Joshua's a little bit confused right now what he needs to do. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Joshua. There's a lot of tough fights out there for him, you know. And there'll be a lot of guys that would want to fight him as well. Even though now he's not champion, because they know he's a big name and they see a bit of vulnerability there. They see a guy that could potentially be beat. So yeah, man, I think there'll be a lot of people wanting to fight. There was a lot of people wanting to fight Joshua anyway because of the payday, but now even more so that they think that they could beat him. You know, I think this rematch. Let's see if Joshua can, you know, turn the tables and beat someone like Usyk. I think it's going to be tough, but you know, let's give Joshua the benefit of the doubt. He did it against Ruiz, although this isn't Ruiz. This is a far more skilled fighter. But let's see. I think it's going to be tough. But I don't think Joshua was exposed. I just think he got beat by a genius. That's just my opinion. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think Oleksandr Usyk will knock Joshua out in the rematch? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.